everybody. Welcome back to Willie's American Guitars. So, you might wonder, what's new around here? We've got a lot of new guitars that have been coming in. First off, the Martin factory has kind of opened up a little bit. We're expecting to see some guitars pop out of the Martin factory. I've got a new D18, we've got a 0018, we've got a few 18s that are on their way. They're making mahogany guitars, but this came in, and you know our thing is vintage guitars. This is a 1967 D28. Now, through the 60s, deforestation in Brazil with the Brazilian rosewood, cutting trees randomly to make room for farms, cattle, soybeans, things like that. They really were trying to modernize the country, but cutting down trees, and it became harder and harder all through the 60s to get Brazilian rosewood. Martin knew it was coming, and they eventually made a D35 that has a three-piece back, using up as many small pieces of Brazilian. But remember, Martin Guitars is really fussy about wood. They don't just buy cheap wood, and currently Brazilian rosewood is not available. Martin has said publicly they will never buy any more Brazilian rosewood. They have a supply of it, but it's getting harder and harder to find, and it is protected. Dealing in Brazilian rosewood now is like dealing in rhinoceros horn. It's just not done. There's so few of these precious 700 to 1500-year-old trees left. However, in 1968, as Martin was looking at this, they were looking at the shortage that was coming all through the 60s. By 65, they were worried. 66, 67 was the first or last full year of Brazilian rosewood, and then in 68, the embargo came. And they just said no more Brazilian rosewood. And this is a very beautiful piece. It is very rose colored. Why do you want Brazilian rosewood? Well, A, they're probably going to go up in value. Tone-wise, Brazilian rosewood has a really deep thump. There's something about a Brazilian rosewood guitar. This guitar is pretty worn, and for me, that's a good thing. If you're waiting for something that's minty, hang on. It'll be a lot more money than this one, but this one is what I like to see, an old worn-in guitar. Now, it's had a repair. The headstock, it's hard to see, but if you blacklight it, it looks like somebody had glued the finger place board in. It's not cut like this, but there is a lateral crack that looks like it's been fixed on this. There's a little bit of wear around the sound hole, and I'm holding it in there in the light so you can see that. The whole guitar is rather ambered too. This is lacquer that has kind of ambered away, and you can see where it rests on your leg where that lacquer is worn away a bit. But the whole guitar has a glow to it, and that's a good thing. This one has had a professional neck set. We've discussed this before, but if you leave a guitar, it tends to do this over time. We didn't do it, it came to us with a neck set that brings the strings closer to the bridge saddle. And that makes it much easier to play. All the way up the neck. Rumbles. I'm going to play an HD28 just so you can hear the difference. Buying one of these is an investment grade guitar, even in that condition. Now these guitars, this is an HD28 that has the braces scalloped. They did not scallop braces in this time period. So that is a wonderful sounding modern guitar. It has deep, but there is a complexity to these old guitars, and I'm playing it loud so the microphone can hear this. A great guitar submitted for your approval. 1967 D28.